So, you finished the Blinded questline and did all the generations, huh? Got that level 20k boost, ranked 1 to all your skills, started your Arcana journey and became a cool cat that stands in line to get into Dunbarton for like 70 hours a day. Why does it take so long? So, what is there to do now?
What do you mean? Now we can finally play the game.
Congratulations. You are now entering what the Council of Elders calls midgame, the minor leagues of combat. Long bus trips, shitty hotels, battling through injury, honing your craft, and finding what you are capable of, just for a chance to make it to the bigs. All of this, while consistently questioning your life choices. Namely, why are you playing an almost 2-decade-old Korean MMORPG? With all that said, let's talk about the next step in your journey. Tech missions. I'm gonna go to the roleplay channel, channel 7, to embark on a new journey.
Claire's.
What is your business here?
I've come to put an end to this.
Still befriending mortals. I'll not ask you to return to our side, but I demand you cease your attack.
I will not.
You shall regret those words. We will meet again. What?
Well, Claire's doesn't have anything now thanks to death. At least with the New Rise update, gear progression will finally be a lot smoother. But for right now, I'm gonna go grab all my old stuff from my mom's house that I used to wear when I started. All that old Blinded gear. Oh shit, what's this? My old Celtic sword from the Chronicle missions. This thing is the bee's knees. I mean, 2 peers, come on. That's crazy. The question now is, can I solo Feth with all of this? And I can also show you what we have now and what Feth will look like once we get the New Rise update. Gentle viewer, I present to you the Feth Challenge. Here are the ground rules. I can only use the Chronicle Mission Celtic Sword and Blinded gear. No equipment slots, since newer players don't have access to that really. 1500 strength via pot poisoning, which is the base cap for all races. The only tech cards I will use is Redouble Defensive, Dampen Shock, Blunting Field, Fate Weaver, and Time Shift. I'm going to use the Star of the Dawn and the Morning Star titles, since they're easily obtainable by anyone. My Elemental Knight is level 50, Link 10, which is the max for both level and Link. And my Celtic Sword will have a max Spirit level. Oh, and by the way, I recorded this prior to the Arcana buffs we got earlier this year. So this is being done without the damage increases and cooldown decreases to Arcanas. Also, this is prior to Flashing Steel. So take that in consideration when watching this. As you can see, my max damage right now is 1303. Let's start buffing up. Well, before we do that, let's actually change our Grandmaster title. I mean, Grandmaster Warrior gives 30 min, 30 max to sword skills, so it's pretty substantial. With only 1500 strength, we have to get as much max as we can. Also, focus on my max damage while I buff up. It's kind of crazy how it's going to ramp up. Alright, let's start off with a Battlefield Overture. Okay, as you can see there, I got a normal play. So I need all the damage I can get. So I need a Marvelous or higher. Nice, I got a Marv with the Encore. Okay, let me put the loot away and grab my Scythe. Scythe should always be on your back, by the way. I'm going to need a Bone Dragon Fragment. And finally, I'm going to Fate Weaver myself with 5231. Make sure your Instill Element is on, which is now just 1 button. Finally, do an Orbital Pulse for the buff. And here's the combo to gather and attack. Gravity Well to pull them in. Starlight Veil for the debuff. Shattering Windmill to Dynavolt Smash. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At least for the regular rooms. Pull them in, debuff, use Shattering Windmill, Rage Impact, and then Dynavolt Smash. Since they didn't die, you still have Blazing Assault Slash and regular Windmill. In the modern game, you can just bash Flashing Steel. It's awesome. But I'll just use Crisis Escape and wait for cooldowns. Oh yeah, dude. So this Stardust points to where the next orb is. So just follow it. So I need a rebuff. At least nowadays, Fate Weaver and debuffs last a lot longer. And usually you can just Tuan a music buff. But I'm not sure you can get a Tuan for free. Can you? By the way, if you're confused on how I'm getting all these abilities from my scythe skills, check out my buff guide where I show you how to set things up. I'll put the video in the info section or something. And this gathering with the scythe stuff is universal for all the Arcanas. So don't think of this as exclusive to EKs. In other words, after you gather with the scythe, for example, you can use Ignis Plume as an archer or Shadow Flare as the Dark Diviner. Oh, yeah, these lizards leave this like circle behind, and if you stand on it, like everything drains super fast. It's kind of crazy. Okay, holy fuck. This place is a legend for being the biggest gatekeeper Mabinogi has ever seen. This is a DPS check, and when Tex first came out, the only players that could clear it either had gear worth billions of gold at the time, or they got lucky with crits, time shift, and a lance charge set. This was also years before Arcana was even a thing. But basically, you have to kill 5 zombies in a row and then hit an orb that appears before the little balls on the ground disappear. Each zombie has 60,000 HP and a ton of protection, which is a problem since I don't have much max and only 2 Pierce. So, after buffing, I'm gonna have to time shift, and like the good old days, I'm gonna have to hope for some crits. Nah, but seriously, I think this hallway was one of the main catalysts for Arcanas, and an overview of how player progression really should work. But you know, let's see if I can make this work with the shit I have on. I mean, for years we've heard how gate-kept this game is, so let's see if it's changed at all. I mean, in all honesty, someone should not be doing this solo at this stage of the game. And also pre-Arcana buffs. Okay. Let's try it. That's actually how I dance in real life. Alright, let's start with brioing. So one of the main issues with fighting bosses here is I am not allowed to use equipment slots. So I'm constantly going to be manually switching weapons. Pair that with the debuff durations being so short, well, you're going to see how big of a joke all this is real fast. Also, don't forget, we're going to have to buff as well. Thank goodness we have duration extensions now. Little baby steps to a functional game. Yeah, don't run in a straight line like I did there. It's the same concept like in hockey. Move Diagon Alley. It'll help with evading things. Not sure if any of you notice, but please note the duration lengths of debuffs along with my buffs. It was a lot of BS back then, and thank goodness they've redone all of that. I think the main point I want to get across is how needlessly difficult the game was. I feel like buff and debuff management should still be a thing, since they contribute to roles in the MMO genre, like a support class for instance. I mean, look at this. It's just bad. So I'm glad that buffing and debuffing are in a positive light now. You still need to do it though, so don't forget. Well, maybe you won't need to in the new Feth, which we'll get to later. So now that I've buffed and debuffed, I have a pretty small window to do as much damage as I can. And I think this is a perfect example of where Flashing Steel would have been great to have. Instead of tanking those hits, I could have repositioned with Flashing Steel while also doing damage. I don't know, Flashing Steel is the best skill in the game as far as I'm concerned. It gets priority over basically everything. It's decent damage and can be paired with Bash, and becomes resettable and spammable with Bash. Anyways, debuffs are falling off, but it's almost dead. Okay, so the next 3 rooms are more of the same. Just pull them in and kill them till they're dead. So one of the other points I wanted to talk about is equipment slots. Why are equipment slots so gatekept? If you don't know what equipment slots are, they give you the ability to switch between equipment sets with the use of that set's specific skills. For instance, if you're using an EK set and then you click on Shadow Cloak, a ninja skill, and you have your ninja gear in an equipment slot, it will switch to that equipment, titles, and soon Echo Stones. Basically, it gives you the freedom and creativity to use all the tools available to you in the game. It's also one of the most expensive features of the game. Not only do you need to purchase equipment slots with gold or NX, which costs an arm and a leg, you also have to purchase time. Yeah, would you believe it? There's durations on this stuff, which you can extend via in-game currencies or with NX. You can also maintain equipment slot time with VIP options, which I get. I mean, they gotta find incentives to make money somehow. After all, this is a business. However, equipment slots are such a fundamental part of the game that I feel we should get a few free slots within limited time on those specific slots, so that a player can get acquainted with the fact that you can be diverse in your skill selections, and it incentivizes the notion that these are good, and you'll need them, and you will want more of them. It's pretty much the same concept of how a player gets free spirit slots for multiple weapons now, but now that needs to adhere to equipment slots. What do you all think? I know it'd be easy to agree to a few free equipment slots from the side of a player, but try to answer this from the perspective of a player trying to get into the game, and from the perspective of business success. All I know is something needs to change about that. It's way too gatekept. Anyways, why are we fighting balls? Of the countless creatures mankind has created, why did they pick, like, stone balls? Like, I know someone's gonna throw some Gaelic knowledge at me, which is cool, so do it. But we're in, like, this spooky, scary, like, forest area. So why not, like, ghouls and, like, creatures of the night type stuff? And then look at this. You have to kill the balls before they reach the donut. I don't know if I'd be that scared if this was happening to me in real life.
Get back.
Okay, actually, maybe that would be kind of terrifying. Anyways, we have to find another fucking donut. I actually just don't get it. Like, it's a hoop. Like, why am I supposed to be scared of a fucking hoop? This could have been like the most terrifying monster ever created. Like, imagine riding through the mist just to see this terrifying creature.
I'm angry.
Nope. We got a hoop. So this is a little bit different than the previous boss. Sometimes it'll spawn creatures that you have to kill before you can start damaging it again. And then sometimes there's a hit check that you can fail and then it'll paralyze you for like 10 seconds. But other than that, it's the same. Now, if you didn't know, tech missions are going to change dramatically with the New Rise update. Now, I'm going to show you what Feth will look like after this run. However, currently in the game, there's an event going on called Hellgate, which is showing a new version of tech missions, which incentivizes use of arcanas like a Saint Bard and Saint Guardian. Like a very hard mode version of tech missions. I think it's okay. I don't know. I think it definitely needs to be refined a bit. Okay, I ran out of storage. So I actually just ran it again and got to the same spot. Sorry. But anyways, Hellgate. I do appreciate it that they're actually putting mechanics in it. I don't appreciate it because the mechanics feel cheap. For instance, if you're the closest one to the boss, you start taking damage over time. I think it's supposed to force the healer to continuously heal you, I don't know. But it just feels like a forced mechanic. Like, oh, you're the closest one, here's some damage, you know, like, it's like putting a mechanic there because you need a mechanic, I don't know. It's just cheap. Anyways, I think you should take Hellgate as a sign of things to come in the future. As in old content being remade into something else. I don't know. Remake Theta, damn it. Anyways, these are the monster spawns I was talking about. Yeah, just handle them like you would in a regular room. Yeah, you see I have to kind of avoid that lizard's aura thing. Kind of shitty. And once again, note the durations of debuffs and buffs. You really don't know how good we have it now. Anyways, notice how I don't have Fate Weaver on myself? Pretty cool choice that I made. Oh, here's that like paralysis meter. Yeah, you don't want that to reach max. Like it's really just 10 seconds of the enemy getting free hits. Also, if you've never noticed, Dynavolt Smash gets a buff from Shattering Windmill to enemies. So if you're wondering why I'm always Shattering Windmill before Dynavolt Smashing, there's an actual good reason. It's a pretty substantial buff, actually. Like, if you watch any really good player, you'll notice that they always Shattering Windmill and then Dynavolt Smash. It's like pretty much automated now for them. Uh-oh. These balls are getting away. So in this situation, you just have to kind of kite, wait for cooldowns, and just get rid of them. And also deal with this weird-ass latency stuff. This is actually getting a little hairy. Notice how I don't have BFO, or I haven't even Fate Weavered myself. Pretty cool choice by me. And we still gotta apply debuffs again. There we go, let's get that BFO. Okay, we'll take what we can get right now. Oh, that was good. Definitely needed that. Alright. Pretty neato. Alright, let's see all the non-drops I get. Okay, now I'm going to show you what Feth is going to look like in the New Rise update. Please forgive me for the bad quality. My good friend Alter, who plays in the Korean server, streamed it for me and let me record it. So it's like Discord bad quality. So this is what you have to look forward to. Enjoy.